Howdy, howdy. Welcome on in to the pre-show before the free show.
Welcome on into the watch-along for the Conference USA quarterfinal between Old Dominion, the 3 seed out of the East, and North Texas, the 2 seed out of the West. Old Dominion clinging to a 16-15 lead early in the second quarter. So if Pickle looks distracted, go to your camera right now. This is what she's going to be doing. The TV is over there. This is a bad idea. This is only, by the way, only going to be worse tomorrow, because as much as you like the women's basketball team, they are. How would you classify the women's team for North Texas? They're fine.
Yeah, I mean this is one of the best years that they've had in a long time.
Probably not making the tournament.
Unless
they win this tournament.
Yeah, I think they can win this game. I would be thrilled if they made it to the championship, but I don't. There's some tough competition out there.
Right.
The men, on the other hand, play tomorrow at 11:30.
Maybe.
Gotta
win. Wow.
Knock on wood. I'm confident in them.
You're overlooking the mighty Rice Owls.
Yeah, I watched Rice play last night. They're fine.
So speaking of basketball,
I've
got two things to talk about basketball-wise. One,
okay,
a shout out to our friend Todd Winfrey. Todd Winfrey, of course, the coach out there in Canyon, there at Canyon High. His daughter. Oh, let me get her name. Hold on. Let me make sure I get her name right. Her daughter, or his daughter rather, is a pretty darn good basketball player. She is Kennedy Winfrey.
Okay.
She's a freshman on UNLV's basketball team.
Okay.
Because I emailed him. I sent him an email, like I said, to the other 1,000 coaches I still need a questionnaire from. Sent me an email today. And he wrote back. He goes, hey, brother, I'm going to get this thing done. I've just been out in Las Vegas. I'm going like, all right.
Okay. Say more.
For the Mountain West women's basketball tournament. Because
his daughter's
his
playing.
daughter
How
plays
cool
for
is that?
UNLV. And how about this? They won the darn thing.
No kidding.
And I believe it's the first time they've ever won that tournament. And, yeah.
How cool is that? Well, that's awesome that he got to go out there and see it then.
It is, it is their first automatic bid to the NCAA tournament since winning the 1994, the Big West in 1994. And it is it'll be the Lady Rebels' first NCAA tournament appearance since 2002.
Hey, how about that? Congratulations.
Well, Winfrey Magic
out
there.
And
anyway.
to get to go see it. That's really cool.
Yes, congratulations to the Winfrey family. That's going to be cool, and wherever they land, I'll be rooting for them. Okay, the other thing is I got to tell you about a lie that Ashley Pickle told my wife. So tonight,
this was not intentional. I didn't know.
Tonight's date night for the Teppers.
Uh-huh.
We're going to go out, and we're going to go over to the Star.
It's actually double date night. It's you and Jen, and then Mallory and I.
Okay, well.
Mallory's my date tonight.
You're not invited to dinner.
Well, no, I don't want to be invited.
I'm
going to be working.
We're going to go to dinner, and then we're going to go watch probably some UTEP basketball tonight.
Yeah.
Probably watch a little UTEP basketball.
UTEP's playing Middle Tennessee.
They're at the Star in Frisco. And one of the reasons that we're going, and one of the reasons I was able to talk my wife into doing this for date night was that Pickle, of course, Pickle is a big swinging D over there at Conference USA. She is, well, you and Mallory. You're both big celebrities.
We have a credential.
You're both. I don't know. You're hosting a fan fest, right?
This is true.
What's it called?
Yeah.
The fan fest out in the plaza during the games, and then Mallory's going to be emceeing games inside, but she'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
In any case, all of that is to say that one of the reasons that I was able to talk my wife into doing this thing was because you said, and I can get you into like the hospitality suite. Like I can get you in, and we can take care of you. Have a good time. I'm going, hey, honey. So I go to my wife and I say, honey, we can go to this event and we can get the VIP treatment, okay? Total VIP all the way. And she's going, oh, well, okay. I don't like college basketball, but this will be fun because it'll be a VIP. Pickle texted me last night and says, yeah, there's no VIP.
They always have
You pulled the rug out from underneath my poor
got the
wife.
rug pulled out from underneath me. I had no idea. Every single year that we've worked it, we get the conference. Yeah, after the festivities of the day are over, everyone who is credentialed and works the tournament gets to go over for hospitality. There's appetizers, there's beverages, and you kind of get to unwind for the day. I was told, oh yeah, we'll put their name down. They sent an email saying that y'all's name was down, and then I heard from another person, oh, there's no hospitality this year. And I said, so y'all are on some list. I don't know what list it is, but you're on a list if that makes you feel good.
It's like a no-fly list.
Yeah, exactly. It's actually like Pickle nor the Teppers are allowed inside the building. That's probably what it is.
I just don't appreciate you lying to my wife. That's it. And you can apologize to her in person.
I will.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for you. I do feel bad for your wife.
You should feel bad for her for a lot of reasons. But
I feel bad for myself too.
Yeah,
that makes working it like it's a little less sad.
Yeah. Anyway, moral of the story is Pickle lied to my wife.
Moral of the story is you're going to come out and you're going to have a great time at the Conference USA Basketball Championship presented by Heritage Landscaping Supply Group.
Oh my God! What a sellout you are! All right, hit the theme next. Pickle. Hit the air sign. Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show on the internet. My name's Greg Tepper. I'm the managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football, a magazine. TexasFootball.com, a corresponding website. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live on TexasFootball.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitch, on Twitter, or you're listening to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part. Support your local, mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making us sound good. She is the Duchess of the Dorks. She is Ashley Pickle.
Howdy, friends.
Hi.
Happy Thursday. My days are very thrown off this week.
This feels like a Friday.
Yeah. It
feels like a Friday. I don't know what it is.
Well, and especially
because working extra hard.
Yeah, that's it. Well, especially because, too, the conference championship games are on a Saturday, so I keep thinking today's like a Wednesday, and it's not, but then it feels like a Friday. I don't know. Time has no meaning.
Anyway.
We're here.
Welcome into today. Today is
Welcome into today.
Today is Thursday, March 10th, 2022. 259 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday. It's a weird day for birthdays. Would you like somebody born in Oklahoma or somebody born in Puerto Rico?
Puerto Rico.
Happy birthday to Bad Bunny.
Oh, yeah, nice. He was in Dallas not too long ago, and I was kind of sad I didn't get to go.
Bad Bunny turns 28 today. Happy birthday to Bad Bunny.
Oh, nice.
Episode 1347. On today's show, my friends, we are going to talk at the back half of the show, we're going to hear from the head coach of the Arlington Lamar Vikings, Coach Billy Skinner. We'll talk with him about his Vikings and everything going on out there in AISD. And then first half of the show, though, is going to be Tepper's Top 10. I'm going to talk about teams that change classifications in the latest UIL realignment that I think are immediate impactful players.
List Thursday.
Yes. Immediate contenders in their new classifications. We'll get into that coming up here at the back half of the program, or front half of the program. That's why I can't do that.
Yeah, you did it backwards.
I really
and it didn't work.
I was so excited to talk about Billy Skinner and less excited to talk about my nonsense.
You should have just yelled, Billy Skinner!
I know. It should've been
like, that's it. There's the intro.
Anyway, do we have first four through the door?
We sure do. It was Nick Morton, Aaron Arbuckle, Jake McNeil, and Tony Blaylock. Welcome in, fellas.
Howdy, fellas. Thanks for joining us on this, the day of the Conference USA quarterfinals.
Yes, that's a fact.
There, it's Old Dominion 21, North Texas 20, with 5:40 to go in the second quarter. All right, Pickle.
List Thursday.
List Thursday. Time for Tepper's Top 10. So today I wanted to put together a list of teams that are changing classifications. And there were a lot of them in the latest UIL realignment. Teams moving up, teams moving down, teams moving sideways. Up in classification, down in classification. And I think that there is this notion, and I think it's understandable, that if you move up a classification, you're going to struggle. And if you move down a classification, you're going to thrive.
Yeah.
And I think that while that may generally hold true,
I was going to say, that's a
broad assumption.
Yeah, if you want to say like 70% of the time,
Yes.
I would go with that.
Because I do think that there are a fair amount of teams that are moving down that are still going to struggle.
Yep.
And I think that there are still a fair amount of teams that are moving up have an opportunity to just keep on trucking, right? I think that is an instance in which those types of instances occur. And so I want to come up with my top 10 immediate contenders in their new Texas high school football classification. So these are only teams that change classifications, right? You will not see Galena Park North Shore on this list.
No.
They did not change classifications.
And they're not going to.
They are a contender.
Yeah.
I'm talking teams that change classifications that I think are immediately a contender in their new classification. And what do I mean? Let me put a little bit of fine point on this.
Okay.
What do I mean by contender? I think a contender is a team that can win their region. Okay? A team that I think can win their region. Now, there are more than 10 of them, but these are my top 10 that I've got my eye on that I think are real contenders to win their region, which will put them in the state semifinals, or perhaps even win the whole darn thing. Okay? So let's start. Go to the graphics. Number 10 here. There's my top 10 immediate contenders in new Texas high school football classifications. Number 10!
Katy Pato.
Katy Pato, the defending 5A Division I state champs, are moving up to Class 6A. Now, they are going to have a lot of change here because, obviously, moving up classification, and they're doing so now without their coach, BJ Gott, leaving to go to Pearland. So they'll have a new coach. They are, of course, still the defending 5A Division I state champs. They are getting launched into Region 3, which is very difficult. But I will say, I need to take a look at where they fall from an enrollment perspective. Now, they are they were relatively big, but if they can find a way, for example, if Tompkins and Katy, and Cinco Ranch, they will almost certainly every
BD2.
team in their classification or every team in their district that made the playoffs last year, and there were 5 of them, including themselves, or rather 4 others. Katy, Tompkins, Cinco Ranch, and Seven Lakes are all bigger than them.
Mm-hmm.
So they only need 2 of them to make the playoffs.
Which feels
we've
normal.
talked. It seems pretty much a lot.
Yeah.
Katy and Tompkins, or Katy and Cinco Ranch, right? What I would say here, if you take a look at this, at the way that 6A Division II tends to break out, normally that's a little bit more manageable.
Yeah.
Right? Normally, that's going to be an opportunity to make a little bit of a run.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think Peyto moving up to 6A is some immediate, heat death.
No, especially because we talked about this a lot, all credit to College Station and stuff, and all credit to Peyto and winning that 5A Division I state championship. But they already had 6A numbers, basically, at this point last year. So it's not like they're short by any stretch of the mean.
Right. I mean, they're a 3,000 student school.
Yeah, there's
and so they've got numbers
shortage
there. That's not necessarily the issue. I also think, again, if they can go to the Division II bracket, which seems, I would say, let's just say likely.
Mm-hmm.
If they're able to go to the Division II bracket, then I think they've got an opportunity to make a run. Now, Katy, of course, made the state semifinals last year. Out of Region 2. They went to the Division 2. But if Katy doesn't go there, then you're talking about a team like C.E. King or Summer Creek, and I'm just here to tell you that I think that Peyto can hang with those types of teams. Number 9!
Gregory Portland.
Let's go a little bit off the board here. Gregory Portland is moving down from 5A Division 1 to 5A Division 2, and one of the things that I feel like we're not necessarily talking about a whole lot. This is a team that last year went 9-4. And if you take a look at what Region 4 looks like, right, what Region 4 of 5A Division 2 looks like, Liberty Hill, of course, won the region last year, and they figure to be pretty good again. But who else in that region are you sure is a world beater?
Yeah.
Right? Alamo Heights? Maybe. Flower Bluff? Another drop down? Maybe.
Flower Bluff had a good year last year.
Right. Mercedes? San Antonio Veterans Memorial? Another drop down? I'm just saying that I think Gregory Portland, by virtue of going to Region 4 in 5A Division 2, which I would say is, in my opinion, the weakest or at least least deep region in 5A Division 2, I think there's an opportunity for G-Port to make a run. And Brent Davis has done a great job down there. I think they're building something with what they're doing at Gregory Portland. Keep an eye on the Wildcats.
This was a prime example of when you joked about teams obviously going up and down, but then also left to right.
Yes,
this is kind of a left to right movement there.
Yeah, they're going a little bit sideways. Number 8. Another off the board.
Very off the board in Gordon.
Let's talk 6-man football. So Gordon, there wasn't a ton of high-profile changes in as far as divisions are concerned in 6-man football. There's a few teams that are leaving 6-man football. Sterling City, Water Valley are leaving. Few teams that are joining, like Menard and Burkeville, are going to start playing 6-man football. But the most high-profile change in division is Gordon. Gordon was a team that last year had a pretty darn good year. I feel like they went 10. They were a 10-win team. They won their district. They ended up making the quarterfinals or the regional finals, losing to eventual state champions Strawn. This is, to me, a team that can make a run. When you take a look at their region, Abbott, our friend Terry Crawford, is probably going to be their biggest challenge within their region. Abbott, St. Joe, team like Coolidge, etc. I would say, though, if you take a look at Gordon, there's no real reason why they cannot, even though they're moving up a division, why they can't immediately contend and be a challenger to a team like Abbott in Region 3.
Oh, yeah, and if you see, obviously we saw how good Strawn was last year. To lose to them by not a substantial amount says enough.
Yeah, I think that's right. Number 7.
4A we go, the Argyle Eagles.
Of course, this is a high-profile move, right? Moving from 4A Division, run. I have that backwards. 4A Division 2 to 4A Division 1. No, I have that wrong. They're 5A Division 2. They're moving up to 5A Division 2. I've got this. I'm doing great, guys.
Numbers.
I'm doing great. I didn't do a typo. You guys are reading it wrong. So they're moving up to 5A Division 2. And again, moving up to 5A Division 2 is not going to be fun. I don't think anybody's looking forward to this. But at the same time, where that got dropped, we talked about how they had a pretty soft landing district-wise. Also, you take a look at their region, in Region 1, and you start saying 5A Division 2, you go, okay, Colleyville Heritage, pretty darn good.
Yep.
Grapevine, same district, they're going to be pretty good. Wichita Falls Riders, a team that's made the regional final forever. But, I just
those
don't
are
think,
all
I just
teams
don't think
that
there's a
Argyle
ton
can
of
hang
depth.
with. Yeah.
I just don't think there's a ton of depth. And so for me, when you take a look at at Argyle moving up to 5A Division 2, not 4A Division 2 like it says on the graphic, I think Argyle can immediately contend and immediately is in that mix of those four teams with Heritage, Argyle, Grapevine, and Ryder that are going to be on the short list of Region 1 contenders. Number 6
to 2A, the Stratford Elks.
The first state champion we're going to have on this list, or second state champion rather, moving up from 2A Division 2 to 2A Division 1. And look, you never want to be moving up a classification, especially I think there is a pretty big leap between 2A Division 2 and 2A Division 1.
Yes.
But again,
that's especially hard too right after a historic state run,
But again, they're stepping into a region that I think they can make some noise in, okay? Hawley, and of course, played for a title last year. They'll have a little bit of rebuilding to do. Cisco is going to be dangerous. New Deal. We talked with Coach, the head of coach at Cristobal, Casey Otho, earlier this week. They're going to be a contender. There's more contenders, but I also think that right now, if you want to install Stratford as the team to beat in Region 1, I think that's fair.
Yep.
They have some pieces to replace. Cody Rennie is gone, right? They're going to have some key pieces to replace. But I also think that they can make a run, and they can make some noise here in Region 1 by virtue of a defending state champ stepping into a region that I think is maybe, while there are really good teams here, I don't think there's necessarily another alpha that that immediately you say, you got to get through them.
Right.
We're going to talk a little bit later, spoiler alert, we're going to talk a little bit later about Aledo. There's an alpha they have to get past, but there's ample reason to believe that they should be able to get past them. I just don't think there's an alpha right now in Region 1, especially since Hawley has some rebuilding to do. Into the top 5. Number 5!
Let's go way south here. Edinburgh Vela.
Let me be the first to tell you guys this, okay? And maybe you guys have dug into this, and I'm not breaking any news to you. So Edinburgh Vale is dropping from 6A to 5A Division 1. Same thing with PSJA North.
Yes.
They're both dropping down. Same with Harlingen South. They're all dropping down. Guys, I think that 6 of the top 7 teams in Region 4 are in the Valley.
Yeah.
I think Corpus Christi Veterans Memorial is going to be very dangerous again.
As they always are.
Of course, they were a team to keep an eye on last year. They were very dangerous last year. I am here to tell you that I think Edinburgh Vale was the best team in the Valley last year.
Yes.
And I think by dropping down to 5A Division 1 into a Region 4 that has, I think, they do not have an alpha. There's nobody there that I think is unbeatable. I think Edinburgh Vale can play in a state semifinal. I mean that sincerely. Now, if they were to get to a state semifinal, they might play a team like College Station or Manville or Smithson Valley or Magnolia West, and that wouldn't be super fun.
Right.
But they'd get there. And it's been a long time since we've had a regional champion in the Valley. I think at least for next year, 5A Division 1 Region 4 might be your best chance to have a Rio Grande Valley team in a state semifinal. There is big doings down there. I think the way that Region 4 broke is very favorable to a team like Edinburgh Vale and PSJ North.
Because Mission Vets and Sherilyn Pioneer were the last two to make it to a regional final, but they didn't win it.
Correct.
Right. They both got knocked out in the fourth round.
They could take it a step further.
That would be awesome.
I'm telling you, that is the way Region 4 is set up because of the fact that there are 2 Valley districts in it. There's a lot of reason to believe that Vale can make a run. And they're going to be really good.
Yeah.
Number 4!
Another defending state champ, the China Spring Cougars.
China Spring's moving up, right? China Spring, of course, very famously, we went gaga over it on the realignment day about how, oh my gosh, they got dropped into
Lorena.
They got dropped. Oh no, that's Franklin.
Sorry,
they
gosh
dropped into Stephenville.
Yes, there we go.
Same district with Stephenville. 2 4A state champions in the same district. And look, there's reason to believe that they were put into a very difficult region, right? Stephenville, Salina, La Vega, same district.
Yeah, that like Waco area is getting insanely tough.
Kennedale, Paris. I mean, it is a really, really tough region. But I also think that China Spring has faced down. Maybe I'm just putting too much stock into what they did last year. And then obviously they've got big pieces to replace like Major Bowden. And they're going to have
a new coach.
But I also look at what they've built there and what they've and
consistency
and the people that they are, the teams that they have beaten to get to that level, right? To go through the Carthages and the West Orange Starks and and the Gilmers to win a state championship. West Orange Star, that's them. That's really impressive, and it's really difficult to do. And so, to me, China Spring, I don't think is going to be scared moving up to 4A Division 1. It's tough. Make no mistake about it. Mm-hmm. It's tough, but they're gonna get a snootful of two of the toughest teams in their region within their own district, and we'll find out real quickly, exactly where they're at.
Right.
So China Spring comes in number 4. Number 3,
Wichita Falls Hershey.
Okay, another one that I want to be the first to tell you guys. If I'm not, then you just forgive me. So Wichita Falls Hershey is dropping down from 4A Division 1 to 4A Division 2. And maybe you and I'll keep repeating this, but Wichita Falls is going through a very strange situation right now. They have 3 high schools. They have Old High, they have Ryder, and they have Hershey. They are going to close all 3 of them in a couple of years and reopen 2 brand new buildings that they're building, and they're going to consolidate 3 high schools into 2. I think if you were to talk to Antonio Wiley, who left Wichita Falls Hershey to become the head coach at Coppell, he would tell you that maybe that uncertainty may be why he was so inclined to take a job, move, right?
Realistically, someone's going to lose a job because of that.
I'm here to tell you right now that in this swan song, in these next couple of seasons, in their swan song, Hershey's going to be super dangerous in Region 1. And right now, sports gun to my head, I would say that they're the favorite to win Region 2. Heck, they won Region 1 Region 1. They won Region 1 last year.
Yeah.
In 4A Division 1, and they're dropping down.
Because we had to reach out to their coach about the all-access piece in case they made it to state.
I think they're the favorite.
Yeah.
I think they've got to be the favorite. They are the champion of Region 1 in a higher division, now dropping down. I think they've got to be the favorite there. So Wichita Falls Hershey is a team to keep an eye on, and maybe a team like the Edinburgh Valors and like the Gordons that aren't getting the big headlines, but is going to be an immediate contender wherever they go. Then the last 2 are teams that have a fair amount of headlines. Number 2,
the aforementioned Bearcats of Aledo.
So Aledo is again pretty famously moving up from 5A Division 2 to 5A Division 1. It's a big leap. They are going into the same district with Denton Ryan, and Denton Ryan is
there's that alpha.
There's the alpha, right? But I will say that I think that obviously they get Ryan in district. A team like Tascosa and a team like Lubbock Cooper is not going to go away. Abilene, I think, is a sleeper. But what I'll tell you is that Aledo is going to play they're going to face off against the best team in that region, or quote unquote the best team in their region, if it's not Aledo, right? In Denton Ryan, in district.
Yep.
Those are the 2, in my opinion, right now. If you were to ask me who are the 2 best teams in Region 1, I'd say it's Aledo and Denton Ryan.
It's a classic Windthorst-Munster where we see them in district and then we likely see them in the regional final.
I would fully expect to see them play twice.
Right.
And for Aledo, they have played teams at the 5A Division 1 level. They've beaten teams at the 5A Division 1 level.
They almost beat Cedar Hill a year or 2 ago at a 6A level.
I just do not think that this leap from 5A Division 2 to 5A Division 1 is going to necessarily scare them or mean that they're going to fall back to the pack. I think they're going to be an instant contender there in Region 1 of 5A Division 1. Now, here's an interesting thing. If they had been lumped into Region 2, maybe this is a different conversation. Because then they're going through Lone Star and Timberview and Longview and Wakeland.
It's just a lot more landmines.
Lancaster, right?
Yeah.
I think Region 1's a little bit more open for them to make a run. And that's why I think Aledo is my number 2 team on my immediate contenders.
Which will lead to an amazing state semifinal game on that side of the bracket.
Potentially. You could have a team like Longview and Aledo in a state semifinal. That'd be fun. But there can only be one. Number 1!
The accidentally aforementioned Franklin Lions.
Franklin. So Franklin, the 3A Division 2 state champion, is moving up to 3A Division 1. And this is a feel thing. This is not based in science. I want to be clear. This is much more art than science. I do not think that the gap at the very top between 3A Division 2 and 3A Division 1 is particularly large. There are other places where I do think that gap is large.
Yes.
I don't think that exists in 3A.
No.
I think that I think that you saw Gunner and Franklin play in the 3A Division II state championship, and I think you saw Lorena and Brock play in the 3A Division I state championship game, and I would put all 4 of those teams on about the same plane.
Absolutely.
I think they're about the same level. And so Franklin, who does bring back a fair amount from last year's team, Franklin, of course, does get thrown into the wood chipper with Lorena in their district. But I'm also here to tell you that I think that region, all told, is not ultimately super deep. There's teams like Yoakum and Hallettsville from down south that I like, Diboll, Columbus. Little River Academy I think is a sleeper within their own district, right? But I also just don't think it's all that deep. And I think it's one of those instances where Lorena, of course, is going to be pretty good again. They may see them twice.
Right.
But right now, if you're asking me who I think is the favorite in 3A Division II or 3A Division I Region 3, might be Franklin. Might be Franklin. And a team that can legit win another state championship and go back-to-back, starting out there in Region 3. I think that this is a Franklin team that's loaded. I think it's a Franklin program that's ready, that now they've got that state championship, they're feeling like they can beat anybody. Franklin is my number 1 immediate contender in a new Texas high school football classification for 2022. So there you go. There's my top 10. What do you think? Let me know in the comments of what I'm wrong about. You'll notice there were some, I'll tell you the last 2 cuts for me.
Okay.
Because
the honorable mentions?
I put together a list. The way I do these things is I just kind of go through and I just type up all the teams that I think are going to be there. And I ended up with 12. The 2 that got cut were Highland Park and Abilene.
Yeah, Highland Park had a soft landing, and then Abilene.
Let me
soft landing in district.
Bingo. Soft landing in
not
district.
Necessarily region.
Not necessarily in the region. Abilene, I think, because they're dropping out of 5A Division I as well, but I also think that in that Region 1, they're not, in my opinion, the team to beat in 5A Division I Region 1. In my opinion, that might belong to another team that we talked about earlier, which was rather you're talking about Alito and Den Ryan. They gotta get through them. You know what I mean? Anyway, so let me know what you think. We're Texas Football Today. We're here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at TCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Pickle. This past season, Dave Campbell's Texas Football partnered with University Health to shine a light on student training programs across the greater San Antonio area with the Student Training Program Spotlight. This year, 10 schools were selected as the Student Trainer Program Team of the Week, which includes a commemorative plaque and presentation, as well as a $500 donation to the program. Each school was then entered to compete for the San Antonio Student Training Program Spotlight Program of the Year Award, with partnered with a $2,500 donation to their school's athletic training program. We had it voting at TexasFootball.com. We received more than 100,000 votes.
Let's go.
I had to count them by hand.
Yeah, the 210 showed up.
We are proud to announce the San Antonio Student Training Program of the Year and the recipient of the $2,500 grand prize to...
Drum roll, please. Boom!
San Antonio Holmes High School. Congratulations to the Holmes Huskies on being named the San Antonio Student Training Program of the Year, presented by University Health. Congratulations to Christy Garza and the Huskies student training staff on this terrific award. They get a $2,500 grand prize towards their program. Congratulations to the Huskies student training staff as the San Antonio Student Training Program of the Year, presented by our friends at University Health. For more information, visit TexasFootball.com. Pickle, a couple years ago, we caught up with the head coach of the Arlington Lamar Vikings, Coach Billy Skinner. Talked a little bit about his Vikings, what they were able to do in 2021, a little look ahead to 2022. Here's my conversation with Arlington Lamar head coach Billy Skinner here on Texas Football Today. Dave Campbell's Texas Football here at the DFW Coaches Clinic, here with the head Viking over there at Arlington Lamar, Coach Billy Skinner. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great.
How's the offseason been?
It's going really well. Getting stronger, getting a little bit faster, so hopefully we'll be able to play some football soon.
I'm interested in kind of your takeaways from your first year there at Lamar. You know, a 2-8 record obviously didn't manifest itself in the win column the way that you would like, but I know you guys were real young, especially at a couple of really key positions. When you take a look at your first year there at Lamar, what stands out to you?
I would say we've got to learn how to start fast. We started our first 3 or 4 games in a 21-0 hole. Can't do that. And so a large emphasis for us has been starting fast, playing fast, doing everything we can fast during our off season. So that's one of the big ones.
Well, it strikes me there in Arlington ISD, like, you know, the bad news is there's no weeks off. Like, you're, you know, now we don't know what realignment's going to have. Maybe they're going to throw you out to El Paso, but, like, you know, it seems like when you're playing Arlington ISD teams, they're all well coached. They all got a couple pretty good kids, and it seems like you got to be ready every single week.
There's no doubt about it, and I think that the coaches in Arlington ISD are some of the best coaches in the state of Texas, and so those guys are always ready to play, and those kids are always up and ready to play. So, you know, we played Arlington High, and we're up 17 points, and they come storming back. We end up going to double overtime, and they get a W. So, no, you're going to be going all the time. It's a bloodbath, as Laban used to call it.
Yeah. Okay. So you're now in the job for a year.
Yep.
What do you know about this job now that maybe you didn't know when you took over? I asked the hard-hitting question.
Yeah, you do.
You thought this was going to be easy.
You do.
Nice, easy interview. Tepper's going to throw softballs.
No, you know what? I think I always leave my door open, my office door open. And one of the things I love is that people are going to continue to come in. And so, you know, because everybody really wants to be invested in the program. And so we've got a bunch of community members, people from the school. I mean, people who have gone to the school, they're always popping in, and it's great. And I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, you weren't ready to be that popular.
I wasn't ready to be that popular.
Yeah, I know. I can see. Yeah, Coach DeLay made it look easy. You know, being that popular.
Hey, I'm telling you right now. I used to poke my head in daily on him and, you know, just check on him. And, what you got going on in here? And he'd always have me come in and talk to me. I've got to get better at that because he made it look so easy.
All right. So you're here at DFW Coach Clint. What are you looking to get at something like this? What are you doing here, basically?
So for me, it's always about getting a nugget. I want to get something small, and then maybe find a staff that does something similar to us. And then when we go over to the breakout room, hey, what did y'all have trouble with whenever you saw this? And kind of get ideas like that. So I love going into the sessions and getting something there. But my favorite part is getting out on one of these tables and getting with somebody that does something similar and trying to learn from them.
All right. So then, you know, obviously it's early. We got some time. I'm not trying to pressure you on a game you're going to play in August.
Okay.
But what do you feel like is going to be the difference between last year's team and this year's team? Do you have a feel quite yet on how this team may be different?
Well, you know, I think for us, we're going to have a full offseason together. I got there in June.
Ain't that a blessing?
Yeah, oh yeah. So we're going to have a spring ball and we're going to have an offseason together. So we're going to know each other's language. They're going to know exactly what I mean whenever I say something. I'm going to know kind of how to read them a little bit better. So there's going to be a better understanding for one another just because of all the extra time that we've got compared to what we had last year.
Well, Coach, we're excited for you. We're excited to see what you do in year 2 there at Lamar.
Man, I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff,
Billy
you want
Skinner.
more
Wow.
of it. Fade from me into me.
My nightmare.
Billy Skinner, the head coach of the Arlington Lamar Vikings. Appreciate his time talking about his squad out there in Viking land.
And I'm happy. The first time that because he accepted the head coaching job there last year, and Mallory and I were out at a 7-on-7 SQT, and we asked to interview him. He was real nervous. He was like, I got to get better at this. And so when we saw him this time, we were like, all right, Coach, here's more practice for you.
Yeah.
So he's gotten comfortable on air.
No, well, he's very very comfortable on air, and think they've got big things ahead there at Arlington Lamar. We appreciate Billy Skinner taking some time with us. Let's go over to Ashley Pickle, our chief Final Thoughts correspondent for America's second favorite segment. Final Thoughts.
I like that.
Chief
that
Final
nickname.
Thoughts correspondent.
Yeah, I think that I'm going to change that to my actual job title. No, we had a really intriguing question that really it makes you think. Are there more doors in the world or more wheels in the world? And that's really hard because I feel like instantly you go, oh, doors.
Mm-mm.
But when you think about wheels, I mean...
No, it's wheels. It's wheels. A lot of wheels out there. And a lot of... And here's the other thing. Usually, wheels, because there are doors on wheels, right? Think about your car, right?
Yeah, I guess if we're counting like chair wheels and stuff too, like I don't know if we're going
Mhm.
just car. If we're going just car wheels, then doors is definitely the right answer because
They're
a lot of countries around the world they don't drive. So
They're in this room alone. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 wheels.
I've got wagon
29
wheels.
30 wheels.
You'll send. I wish I could. Oh, you can't see it. Darn it. The
30
wheel
wheels,
of fun.
1 door. I guess technically 5
Two.
doors.
Yeah. Okay. So are we counting doors, or are we counting like
I think there's
cabinet doors?
I'm sticking to this. I'm saying there's more wheels
Wheels.
because I think there's a lot more places that have wheels and no doors than doors but no wheels. That's me thinking through.
I feel like that was a hasty answer. Like it was rushed.
No, wheels. I'm
Wheels.
sticking with it.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go doors, but okay.
What about hamster wheels? There's no doors on those.
There's no doors on those.
Because can you imagine giving a hamster a door? You just leave.
You just bust through it. Hamsters don't like doors.
Hamsters don't play by your rules.
That's fair.
They have one rule, and that is
Did
get
you ever
out.
own a hamster?
No.
I didn't either.
You know why?
Why?
They smell.
Yeah, I had to keep a pet or a class pet chinchilla
Mhm.
one time over like Christmas break or something.
Chinchilla.
It was awesome. Super cute, super soft. Smelt like turds.
Yeah. Do you know why?
Because it produced a lot of turds. That's why.
Because of all the turds.
It's just an overwhelming.
Sometimes the answer's right in front of you.
Okay, that's my final thought.
At the end of the show?
Yep, a lot of turds.
Chris, thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DTF, like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. But also on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Thanks again to Billy Skinner, the head coach of the Arlington Lamar Vikings, for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please come get your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you tomorrow for Friday. Believe it or not, tomorrow's Friday. I promise
Wow.
you. Check your calendar. Texas Football Today.